Hey everyone, how's it going? Adrienne Lopez here, the Integrative Awareness Coach. I hope you guys are good. Happy Friday today. Just popping in to share with you about week 7, Creating Your Inner Temple Meditation Series, and what we're going to be covering. So, for those of you that don't know me or just stopping by for the first time, as an Integrative Awareness Coach, I really help people face the truth of who they are in their awareness. And so this means a lot of things. And um, really, what it is allowing people to come into the fullness of who they are. Before all the conditioning, before all the programming. And this is a process of going within. And that's part of the reason why I created this 11-week series called Creating Your Inner Temple, because it's one of the first steps of the 3-part steps that I created to help my clients um, navigate through the process. And that first, actually 3 A's, and the first A is to attune. So in this 11-week series, we're looking at what it means to attune ourselves to our highest potential, our highest consciousness, and how that's embodied. So I think I was going through my journal this week, um, my rainbow journal that I got for my travels when I left in January to go to India and then to Guatemala. And in Guatemala, looking through my journal entries, on February the 8th, I wrote the Reembodiment Project. And that just came to me, like, what does it mean to be fully embodied in your truth? And how can I not only support myself, but others in reclaiming their own power and their own will? And what does that even mean? There's not that many people. I'm in this conversation. I try to surround myself with people that are in this conversation. But there's a whole world out there of people that are just stepping into this level of conversation. So this week is a very powerful week, no pun intended. We're looking at the 3rd chakra with the seed phrase, I am powerful. And so the 3rd chakra is your solar plexus, your ability to wield your own power. And what does it mean to wield your own power? What does it mean to wield power? And so I was thinking about that this morning before I came on, and just reflecting on my historical relationship to power, the stories that I was given, that I was steeped in as I grew up, these myths about what it means to have power as a woman in a female body, what it means to have power in a masculine body. And I think I've always been really good at delving in to the truth and to that that shadow. And when I say shadow, it's those parts of ourselves that we like to step over because they're too uncomfortable. And so when I was younger, I was a lot more gung-ho. I would just wield right in and tell people like it was. And so that power was very jarring and very unwelcomed, actually, in a lot of ways, because it didn't have a love and compassion added to it. And so this is really what we're looking at as a culture, and then also individually. How can we wield our power with compassion, kindness, and well-being for all the people involved? So I have matured. I have become softened through my own personal spiritual journey and challenges and growth. And so as I step into this new relationship with my power, I also am helping other people through my model and then also specifically through coaching step into, um, excuse me, a productive relationship with their power. And so it's not something to be frightened of or rejecting. A lot of times, I know one of the stories I was given as a child growing up. I'm gonna get some water, excuse me. Is that somehow your power, because we have this power over model, right? So if I'm in my power, I'm taking away the power of the person next to me or the person I'm interacting with. Of course, this isn't true, right? We can have power with. We haven't quite stepped into that model. We still have, from the top down. And so, as we make this transition in our human evolution, we are having to come to a new relationship with power, which includes everyone, gives everyone a seat at the table. And so this week, we're going to, as I mentioned, we're going to look at the conditioning around what it means to be powerful. And I'm going to take you through a guided meditation where we have been working for the past 6 weeks in developing our own internal container to hold the experience, our internal experience, just as well, to hold our attention there as just as well as we focus our attention out in the world. And this is, I can't, by bringing my attention within, I'm no longer willing to step over my discomfort, things that might cause me pain or sadness, and even joy. So it's like being willing to have that internal conversation, attending to myself first, and then I'm more available to attend to other people in a loving, productive way that isn't jarring or alienating or putting people off, but allowing them. Uh, what I should say is when I'm building my container, I'm offering that as a resource for others, um, so they can start building their own container. So this is a really interesting subject, power and how it's constructed and our source of power. Human beings are the largest source of power on this planet. And how are we taught to use that power unconsciously, consciously, and our thoughts and our ideas and our feelings, and how those consume our power and use our power. And so we're going to be looking at all of these different aspects on Sunday at 12 o'clock noon Pacific Daylight Savings Time. And so I invite you to join me if you are available. And if you're not available at 12 noon, that's okay. It'll be recorded and stored here on my Facebook page as well as my YouTube channel. And so you can actually go back and catch up on the first 6 weeks if you missed them. And if you haven't had a chance yet, I invite you to stop over to the YouTube channel and subscribe and like and share if you feel called to. I appreciate your support as I'm just working on getting that off the ground. So, yeah, I think I gave you a pretty good overview of what we're going to look at. But really, just to sum it up, is we're going to be looking at our power and our own connection to our power. Do we have a direct connection to it, or do we have to have permission? Do we have to go around and dysfunctional ways in order to justify or to step in to the truth of our power and the stories and the blocks that stop us from doing that. All right. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you did stop by today, drop an emoji, say hi, so I know you were here. All right. Good seeing you today. Please remember what a valuable treasure you are. Until next time, bye for now.